Hello and welcome back, everyone. It's me, Unique Man Out, in my basement, and I'm kind of sorry for it's been a while since we've done this. It's just this whole coronavirus thing. Like, seriously, uh, I know two people who aren't essential workers who are taking unemployment and just running with it without looking for another job. But I got a job that was essential. So I'm kind of mad at them because they get paid for just doing nothing. I have to work my ass off to do it, to get the money. So, eh, that's kind of my excuse, I guess, for not being doing this for a while. But for that, I'm sorry, and I'm gonna try and be better. And today, I'm just gonna do a showing of all of my swords, and I think I have like 10 swords right here, and I got like 10 or so other weapons in my room. Today we're just gonna do the swords. Now, most of these swords, we've seen them, so I'm just gonna do a little like reference or like reminder of these weapons. But for the weapons I don't think I've shown yet, I will go into a bit of deeper intel with them. So I'm just gonna start with the first weapon I've ever gotten, a Viking sword. It's a dual-edged Viking sword. It's not really sharp, but I'm sure if I were to slam it against a person, it would do some damage. And it is pretty heavy. Uh, Not weighing it or anything, I would honestly say it's probably similar weight to a watermelon, to be honest. And the sheath can also be used as a weapon because, as you just saw, uh, either this sword is honestly not that sharp, or this leather is honestly just that good, and you can honestly use it to deflect an attack from a weapon. I would not recommend unless you use either the tip or or either end of the sheath to do the blocking. But because the end of the sheath is made out of metal, you can just smack it against someone's head and just knock them out, honestly. It's a one-handed weapon, by the way, so if you try and use two hands, I just don't recommend. If one hand can fit on it, then use it for one-handed, unless it's too heavy to use for just one hand. Speaking of swords that are too heavy for just one hand, let's go to the most awkward sword that I have. If you guys are fans of anime like I am, you will instantly be able to tell that this sword is from Afro Samurai. It's got a very weird like bend to it, so it's okay. So it's not like most swords which are straight. It's got a pretty obvious curve to it. Uh, it's honestly quite cool, in my opinion. But to use it, unless you are trained, or like you've been practicing with this for a few years, I will say that you might get yourself killed if you try and use it on like in a war just from grabbing it off of the battlefield the day before. I would not recommend. I would suggest getting a little bit, at least a month, maybe even 3 months of practice before taking this battle. Because of its curve, you'll have to really adjust your swing to make sure you get the person without overextending too much. And also, because of its curve, the opponent might be like misjudging of it for the swing because normally when you're like down to here, the sword has already missed. So the opponent might back up, and then when your swing gets down lower, might come at you. But because of this curve, they might get a little bit scratched up, but probably not killed. So would recommend at least 3 months of practice before taking this to battle. In my opinion, you die on your own sword. Uh, in my ideas. Now, this is an awesome sword. It's kind of like, well, it's obviously two weapons, but you can combine them, or in their basic form, it's just a kind of club, kind of, really. Some both ends are made out of metal, so if you decide not to take this out in blade form, then just smacking it against someone's like head or honestly a rib cage will hurt a good bit. Because metal, if you didn't know, it's hard and it hurts a lot. But yeah, it has this. It has this switch where if you flick it like towards the middle bit, it unlocks, and if you flick it away from the middle bit, it locks. Honestly, very cool. Very awesome. Now this next weapon was given to me from my brother's friend, who is a fan, so hey, to you. She's unique, I would say. Not many sheaths are just rectangles, basically. Usually they have like the shape of the sword or something. Not this one, just rectangle. Even the bottom of it is just straight edge. While the bottom of the sword is like curved, obviously, like most swords. It's one-sided, blade-wise, or sharp edge-wise, one-sided. Very cool. It's honestly pretty light. Downside though is the sheath. Doesn't have a thing to hook to wrap around you, just like my previous three swords didn't. You'll have to like slide it into your belt or like fashion a hanger for it. And also the sheath, not tight at all. Very easy to just slide out. So do be careful when you run or if you fall in battle that the sword doesn't just go flying off and you're running with an empty sheath and not a sword in your hand. But I can't say it makes for a cool like exit for the sword if you twist the sheath like this and smack your opponent with it. Oh, it's cool. I've honestly practiced doing that, and if I go full force into a slashing motion, the sheath will pop off, and depending on my timing, it will smack into the opponent, throw them off of a bit of a balance, and make an easy kill for me. Or more, uh, more what I want to happen is that they attack the sheath, and since their sword would be down, I can go for a slashing motion on them since their sword isn't ready to repel an attack. So, honestly, don't count the sheath out of your attacks, especially if the sheath is easily removed. Incorporate it into your attacks because that is what could get you the kill that you want. Okay, now this one is a replica from a movie. Uh, this is the movie has 3 installments of it, and honestly, pretty cool. It is Blade's sword from the movie Blade. There are 3 movies from it, that saga. It's a kind of vampire saga. Basically, a pregnant woman who's about to get birth gets bit by a vampire. Her son is half vampire, half human, kind of like those half demon, half human type things. Honestly, pretty cool movie series. I do recommend going and watching it. But the way he takes the sword out of his back, which this is how it's set up, you're to uh, take it like from the back of your spine or from the top of your spine up, but you can't do that with this sword. It's impossible. I've tried many times. Oh, I love the sound of weapons coming out of their sheaths. It's so badass. Something. It's along the lines of my other swords, a unique type of tip where it's dual edge and it comes to a uniform tip. Not many of my swords do that, to be honest with all of you. Really cool, really badass. I do like that the glyphs from the movie is on here. Just shows you how much detail the creator of this sword put into this sword. Very cool, very badass. If you want this, it's actually I got this from a supply crate off of, I believe it was swordguystore.com. Yeah, I think that's the website I got that one on. It's either swordguystore.com or bladeaddict.com. Both links are in the description below. Uh, this sword I've shown before, so I'm just gonna kind of do an overview. This is the Law sword, or the sword that's used by the character Law from the anime One Piece. Very cool. I love this fluffy bit on this sword. I just love it. So soft, so cool. and just one edge, typical sword. Yeah, just a basic sword that's designed like the sword from One Piece. Very cool, very awesome. Speaking of swords from One Piece, I'm honestly considering buying these swords that Zoro, the sword master, had, because I just love the idea of three swords at once. I have tried with my swords with the like putting mouth and sword. Not my thing. I don't have the Zoro jaw strength that he has. Just ugh. He's very cool, very awesome. This is just what I call a dragon sword. Has a dragon on the sheath, dragon on the handle, and a very cool blade design. Very cool, very awesome. Typical one-sided sword. Very awesome. And then I just have a basic black sword. A single edge blade. Kind of a similar blade design that the dragon sword had. But the waves are smaller. And the tip and the entire sword except for the sword itself and the guard are wood, basic. Very cool sword though. I love swords. I don't care if they are designed to look like something from an anime or if they're just basic everyday swords. I just love swords. Just any melee weapon in general. My cup and tea. I just love them. I wish I could like live in a sword shop. But I don't know any sword shops in my area, so I can't be like every day I want to live here or like work there. I'd love to work in a sword shop. Oh my god. But enough of that. What I like to call a zombie sword or a bio weapon sword. The typical bio weapon or logo of bioengineering on both the handle, can't think of the word. The sword guard is actually the bio logo itself, which I just love when the handles are like designed like the dragon sword, and this guy just gives you such an appreciation of the craftsmanship. Speaking of craftsmanship, look at the like, sword itself. The blade is just so cool. Okay, I need to turn off this light. It's reflecting just so much. There. It's a bit darker, but you should be able to see. Got this green like splash all from the sharp end of the sword up to like the blunt end of the sword. For some reason, my mouth wants to be like short, but I'm like resisting so much. Now we got my kind of three smallest swords. Just gonna quickly unbutton them because all of the sheaths are basically the same. I'm just gonna show one sheath. So this is from the first sword that I've shown on here, the rainbow sword. Dual-edged, very light, so you can be very quick with your slashing, and since it is dual-edged, once you start to notice your enemies not getting as hit from one edge, you can just quickly swap to the other edge and just continue slashing. But obviously made from Fantasy Master. Don't know if you can see that, but the logo is Fantasy Master. They make such cool lightweight swords. Just very awesome. Very cool. And then going from that sword. Now if these swords aren't comboed like that 2-wheel, like that second sword that I showed you, but whenever I practice with these together because they're lightweight, just like the rainbow sword. But I just love the idea of just going to town with these two weapons, and I just love these two weapons in combo moves that I have. Now the final weapon, and honestly, my opinion, the coolest designed sword that I have, the flame sword. Look at it. Fight on! Galileo. Fire sticker on one side. And just the design of it, very cool. The only sword to have these divots, which for when I practice, whenever I'm practicing an opponent swinging a sword or something at me, I like to practice getting their weapon into these divots I have, and then controlling the swing to go into the ground, and then me bringing my sword up into the gut or head or what have you. Very cool, very awesome. Probably my number one recommended single-handed sword. If you were to go into battle, shield, sword, would recommend a sword like this. Maybe not this exact design, but at least something with most definitely says only use me with one hand type of handle, and then very lightweight. That Viking sword, the handle says use me with one hand, but with its weight, it could be mistaken for two-handed, but it is only a one-handed sword. If you try and use two hands, your hands get too close and it's not good. Your hands should have at least two fingers, my opinion, 4-finger distance, four. Basically, you should be able to put another hand in between your hands, at the most. But that's all my swords. I will show all my other weapons in another video. If you want me to do more of this, you know how to do that. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, stay unique.